G'day everyone, it's Daniel here from Orbit Plumbing, and what I'm going to do today is show you guys how to install a set of ceramic disc taps. Now first thing you want to do is turn your water meter off. Once the water meter is turned off, then you can open another tap, drain the line out and open your shower taps. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start taking apart the old taps. Now, to do this, you probably need a shifter and a pair of foot grips. That's the most common thing used. With this set of taps in particular, the taps were very tight and hard to get off. So once I discovered that, I went and got my foot grips. Obviously it's a pretty good idea if you can throw down a rag just to stop your feet from getting too wet. As you'll see in this video, my feet still get wet either way. And the water that you can actually see draining out of the shower head down on the floor is just the water that's in the pipes. So the water that's running through the roof in the pipelines, the water is actually turned off and it will stop draining in a moment. So I'm not too worried about the quality of these taps because I know they're going in the bin after I've taken them apart, and that's why I'm just got the foot grip straight onto the chrome cover plate, and I'm not concerned about any scratches or dints I might put in them. So the cold came straight out. It was that seized that the actual spindle came straight out of the wall just by spinning on the cover plate. But the hot, obviously that one was a bit different, and I had to get the foot grips onto the actual body of the spindle itself. Next I grabbed some needle nose pliers, and you'll want to just get those jumper valves out and make sure there's no bits of crumbs or mess in the seat. Now as you can see, these ceramic disc taps, they have a rubber on the end of them, and one is hot and one is cold, obviously blue for cold and red for hot. Now in the middle there's a ceramic disc that spins a quarter of a turn, and they're very easy to open and close, and they're made like this for people with arthritis or sore wrists or sore hands so that they can open and close their taps easily. Now first thing you do is you grab the spine of the ceramic disc. So I have actually taken the body of the spindle already off that spine, and I'm going to tighten it on by hand to start with, but then just give it a little bit of a nip up with my shifter. I'm using an 8-inch shifter, and I don't want to nip that up too hard. I just want to nip it up enough so that it's tight, but not enough that I'm going to damage that rubber that sits against the breech. Next thing is, don't forget your fibre washers. Very important. And then we're going to screw the spindle body now over the top of the spine, and we're going to make it a nice tight fit. And again, I'm going to get my shifter, and I'm not going to overdo it with the spindles because ceramic disc taps, you don't want to damage that rubber. As soon as you damage that rubber, then you're going to need new taps. So you got to be very careful not to overdo the tightness. Now this is a very important stage. We need to get our silicone out, and we need to seal that gap in between the spindles and the wall and the tiles. And that is so, obviously when you're having a shower, there's a lot of water that is going to be bouncing off you and running down the wall. And we don't want any of that water to get in underneath the tiles and behind the wall. As soon as that starts happening, then we're going to be running into lots of problems. You're going to be having mold behind there and end up with a lot more problems in the future than what you want. Now once you're happy with that seal and you know that no water can get through, you need to grab your cover plates that came with your ceramic disc tap set. On this one we're using black. It's becoming quite popular, black tap sets. And these cover plates only need to be hand tight. They're just aesthetics, they don't do anything for the actual mechanism. Now, the next most important thing is to remember with these taps, they actually turn in opposite directions. So they'll both either turn downwards and in on themselves or upwards and in on themselves. So we want to be sure that when we're doing that, we make sure that they're aligned well. So with this tap set, I've tested the taps and made sure that the handles are being aligned evenly on the outside, and they should be in the off position like that when I go and turn the water back on. Next thing you want to do is get your Allen key and just tighten up the grub screw that holds the handle to your spindle body. And once you've done that, you should be able to go and turn the water back on at the water meter and move your towel out of the way. Now you can see those spindles are nice and tight, and by turning them down, I actually turn the water on in the shower, and they're nice and even.